Village of Hainesville regular board meeting will now come to order on Tuesday, July 22nd, 2014 at 7:01 p.m. If everybody would please rise and I'll lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Mayor Linda Soto.
Present.
Trustees Darnowski.
Here.
Priest.
Here.
Duberstein. Here. Barrett.
Here.
Trustee Daly is absent. And Walkington.
Here.
Okay, we do have a quorum. We did allow Trustee Daly to take a day off, so we hope he's having fun somewhere. Just one, yeah. Can I have a motion for approval of tonight's agenda, please?
So moved. Second.
Roll call.
Trustees Darnowski.
Aye.
Priest.
Aye.
Duberstein. Barrett.
Aye.
And Walkington.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Okay, before we move on to public comments and into the rest of our regular agenda, I want to give recognition, along with the board and staff, to a very special resident and former employee of this village. Paul Retyke is in the audience with his family, and I hired Paul back when I was mayor 97 to 2001. And he served as our part-time plumbing inspector, and when I came back, I was happy to find he was still serving the village and doing a great job. And Paul retired from the village over a year ago, and we certainly acknowledge that retirement with a luncheon with the staff. But as I think most of you know, Paul's wife, Kay, who also a very dear woman and valued resident of our community, had various health challenges and was in and out of the hospital. And that we lost Kay last year, the end of the year. But Kay is with us in spirit. And Paul, I want you to know your family is here with you. Your friends are all here, and we love you dearly. And so we would like to recognize you with a token from the Village of Hainesville. So if you would please step forward. I'm going to shake your hand and get a picture. Yeah, right.
Thank you.
Paul, this is from all of us on behalf of the Village of Hainesville.
Thank you very much. I was a plumbing inspector, but I enjoyed my work here and full cooperation of the village and of the people who work here, and it was a good time, actually, to be honest. For a guy who had retired out of the plumbing business and then to get into the plumbing inspecting business was a good step forward. I really enjoyed those 10 years.
Well, we
And
appreciate
I want
it.
to thank the village for hiring me, and I hope I did their job. All right.
You were excellent. You were outstanding.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you very much.
And now here you are sending your granddaughter off to college. Can you believe that?
That was good there.
Paul's daughter Susan is in the audience, along with her two children, Allison and Jake. And Jeff Gately is Paul's son-in-law, Susan's husband. So,
Thank you.
thank
One
you.
more picture.
Thank you. Thank you very,
Linda.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, let's get one with the family.
Family.
Yes, Jeff, Susan, kids, come on up.
Go on with Grandpa.
You know, he can open it. We'll let him open it. He can definitely open it. Over here.
Everybody's got to be seen.
Everybody,
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
Okay, everybody say happy retirement. One more, let me take one more. Okay, thank you.
thank you very much.
Noodles. Uh-oh.
Oh, my.
Oh, look at that. It's got the Hainesville logo.
There's a Hainesville motor on there.
Paul retired, happy retirement from the village of Hainesville.
I know where it's from.
For his whole family.
Smile on my head.
Let us know what time we should be over.
Yeah, it's a special place for that.
Okay, at this time, we will take public comments. Is there anyone that wished to address the board? You should have filled out a card and given it to our clerk, Kathy Messler. Nothing. No takers. Going, gone. Okay, we will move on to the omnibus vote agenda. Do I have a motion?
Second.
Roll call.
Comments?
Was that Wally or John?
I second.
Thank you.
You can't make comments. You have to remove it from the omnibus and put it under business. Next item of business.
Okay,
So what do you want to remove?
well, I got a question about the charges for Mark refreshment, and then further on down the line, we've got another 8 boxes of K-Cups at $92.89, so we've got $163.80 for coffee.
All right, so you want to move the bills payable out of the omnibus vote agenda for discussion?
Well, just so we can get an
That's
understanding.
fine, so let's do
Yeah.
that. So it's removed. So we are removing item 2 from the omnibus, leaving item 1. Roll call.
Trustees Darrenowski.
Aye.
Priest.
Aye.
Duberstein. Barrett.
Aye.
And Washington.
Aye.
So we move item 2. Okay.
Okay, next item is now bills payable. Kevin, proceed with your question.
Okay. Looking through the bills payable this month, I mean, it just seems like it's just a big dollar amount for coffee for the office staff. I mean, I'm not begrudging anybody coffee, but when we look at maybe possibly purchasing it a little bit more economically, I mean, 42 signature Java cups from Airmark Refreshment Services comes out to $1.16 per unit. And then right down below it on the Chase Card Services, on 7/114, we've got another $92.89. So we've got $163.80 in coffee tied up there for one month, or how long is this?
It's longer than a
It's longer
month.
than a month?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, it's well
All right,
longer
because
than
I was
a
gonna
month.
say,
Yeah.
if we're consuming that much in coffee, we need to look at a different way of buying it, was what I was questioning.
Okay,
That's-
well, I don't know that we have all the backup at our fingertips fingertips if we had been called prior, we would have.
No, I just caught this today because I've been out of
Yeah, I
town.
understand, that's fine.
So I was just questioning.
We pay a $20 monthly fee for rental of
The machine.
both machines. Okay, it's $20 a month rental fee. We buy the K-Cups through Keurig.com roughly every 3 months.
Oh, then that's not a problem. I don't have an issue with that at all.
And
I was just-
one of on the error mark, I accidentally put K-Cups after Java's signature. It says 42, I just wrote K-Cups. That's just the regular coffee.
In the
It's
pre-package
coffee.
for the regular cup.
It's the coffee.
Okay, so it's the
not
wrong
K-Cups.
description, so I'm barking up the wrong tree. and
It's-
My apologies. That's fine, thank you.
And I just want to add to that the coffee usage goes up and down. During winter, it's used obviously heavier and when we have events. We also have people that are guests or we have meetings in that, and we do allow them to use a certain amount of coffee to a point. We do have some people, even some of the officers, that throw money on the table that we find and put in petty cash. So I don't think it's really a problem, yeah.
Now that it was called out as, you know, the packages instead of the signatures,
Yeah.
$1.68 for a pot of coffee is cheap. So,
Yeah.
okay, so
Okay.
that's why I agree, I'm sorry, and I was just questioning it just because it just jumped out at me and I'm like, oh.
Sure. Okay, all right. Okay, so at that point, do we have a motion for approval of bills payable?
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? Roll call.
Trustees Darrenowski,
Aye.
Kreese,
Aye.
Duberstein. Aye. Barrett.
Aye.
And Washington.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Okay, at this time, we'll move on to reports and communications. We'll start with our village engineer, Greg Bruin.
Thanks, Mayor. Just a couple items tonight. First, the Cranberry Lake subdivision road resurfacing plans were approved by IDOT, so we are currently out to bid on that item. Bids are due August 8th at the Village Hall. With that bid, we're going to get unit costs for various items, for tons of asphalt, curb and gutter removal, and those, our intent is to use those unit costs for the work along Whitetail Drive on the east side of Hainesville also. Washington Street, according to their website, is 80% complete from Cedar Lake Road to Hainesville Road, and they're expecting to open up this Thursday to traffic. That's all I have.
Greg, do we have some kind of guarantees from the companies that do the street paving? Are they warranted for any length of time? Because couldn't remember when the last time was that Whitetail or this was done, and I just was wondering if this was something that was out of the ordinary, or should it have been something that would have been done right the first time?
They're typically warranted for a year. The Whitetail, I don't know when the last time that was serviced, but I think it was
2006 or 2007.
2007, so you're 7 years out.
So that's hard.
When we do the repairs to Whitetail, we'll be out there and kind of inspect the base and figure out if there's a larger problem. But our intent is to put more asphalt than we're taking out. So we're going to patch it really good, and resurface it, and do a better job than was done 7 years ago.
And we're crowding it, yeah, which
Yeah.
makes quite a difference.
Yes, part of the problem is that when the water doesn't get shed off the pavement, off the asphalt into the curb. The curb is real solid, and those handle the freeze thaw a lot better than the asphalt pavement does. And that's, when the water doesn't get into the curb, that's when you get the rapid deterioration.
Thank you.
Okay, any further questions for Greg? Okay, village attorney, Jim Rock.
Thank you, Mayor. This month we reviewed and revised the contract for water services and wastewater services with Robinson Engineering. Also prepared the ordinance amending the Chapter 10.04 of Village Code regulating motor-driven scooters. That will be part of the business section of the meeting tonight. And also met with village officials and officials from Lake County regarding Lake County's proposal to install a sanitary lift station in the village. And there may be some future discussions about that in regard to special.
I'll be
use.
touching on that in my report as well. Perfect.
Thank you. That's all I have.
Okay, thanks, Jim. Public Works Superintendent Jeff Gately.
Yes, thank you. I've got several things. First of all, our Emerald Ashmore project for this year is actually going off very well. Operations have been smooth. To this date, we have 51 trees cut down out of a total 60. We've left 9 of them in there because there were nests with baby birds. So we're being polite. We're going to give them a couple of weeks to do their thing and get out. We're anticipating we're going to start back on that early next week. Once the trees are done, stump grinding will take place immediately following that. And I was actually on the phone today with the landscaper or the tree service, and I will have a species list available by the end of the week. The different species that we're doing, but we're going to put in 4 totally different species than we had last year, so we're going to have a really nice mix. List Drive, that project started on Monday. Went very well. I did actually have a meeting with the residents a week ago tonight. Met them at their homes, explained what was going to go down, what was to be expected of them. They were all extremely happy that we were doing this. Beamer started Monday. They actually finished the groundwork, the backfill and the grading in the sod this afternoon. So half of it's done. Actually, it's probably about 80% done. Superior will be out to do the driveways the first week of August. We're on the schedule for that. I am going to, Beamer did leave sprinklers going on to try to tell residents to water. While we're out doing the watering for entrances and such, we'll kind of give it a little shot with our truck as we go along. But I will contact the residents just to let them know they really need to for the next couple of weeks. And then I don't have to worry about the ordinance because it's a siding thing. Hopefully everybody's driven around and noticed how nice the entrances look. We got nice flowers all over the place now. Unfortunately, the contractor that we had renewed, I had to terminate. We just had disputes over what was expected and what they were actually planning on doing. So as far as I'm concerned, they were not living up to their end of the contract, so hence they're going. I hired Bartels, which is out of Wakanda. Got a lot of good recommendations from some of my peers, and I think they're doing a fantastic job.
It's off to a nice start.
So, yeah, it's off to a very good start. Very good people to work with. Chris Bartels, it's like working with an employee. He's just there. He follows up. Just a real genuine person. Very comfortable, very honest. If he can do something, he'll tell you right off the bat he can do it. He doesn't dance around it. So hopefully we're going to have a nice, good relationship with these folks as that goes in. A couple other things. The mayor and I put together the specs to get the LED street lighting bid package done. It's currently under review with Jim Rock. Hopefully it'll be done shortly, so we'll have that project going. And
We met with Trustee Duberstein as well.
oh yes, thank you.
She collected a lot of that initial data.
Once that is complete, or actually by the end of this week, the grant I was talking about at the last meeting, those are due in July 30th. I have just about complete. I just need a couple of billing information things, and I will get that submitted to the Metropolitan Mayor's Caucus, and we could get up to 100% funding, up to $300,000. So we'll keep our fingers crossed and see what happens. Once that one's done, I started looking at the snowplow contract, because that one we're going to go into bid for too this year. So hopefully we'll be bidding that out in August. And I think that's all I have right now.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Another question, do you have a schedule as to when you might be dealing with the other parkway trees that need replacing?
It'll all be happening at the same time. Now I know that we did take down some other species, not ash trees that were dead. But I'll talk to you, I think some of the area on Cranberry Lake Drive, I have to verify that those are actually ours.
Oh,
They
right.
may belong to the association, but I want to verify that just before we go in there and start buzzing things down.
Right.
But I'll certainly let you know.
Okay, great, thanks.
To make sure.
Okay, we will move on to our police chief, Phil Perlini.
I just wanted to say that I did receive an email from Kathy, actually, that some residents were talking about unwanted solicitors coming to their house and maybe they weren't registered or whatever. I would just like to say that if a solicitor comes to your house or you see a solicitor in the neighborhood and you want to question whether or not they have a license or they're not displaying their license or they look suspicious or anything else, please call the police department. Don't call the village hall, just call the police department. We'll come out and investigate it, that's what you pay us for, and we'll check the people out, make sure everything's legit. I understand AT&T and some cable company or something were out here, Comcast, but lots of people, and to my knowledge, they had not registered. So,
Then some reconstruction company, because he came to my house and I asked him if he had a solicitor's permit, he said no, so I told him, go to the village, I'll get one. And then the guy walks away from my house, goes up 2 doors and starts.
To the next house.
So I called you guys and, you sent a squad out to go look for him, so.
right, and we always want to check those people out because, most of them are on the up and up, especially with the bigger companies, but they don't screen their employees like we screen our own employees and things like that. So it's nice for us to know who we're dealing with. And solicitors get permits in town to get fingerprinted. So we want them to go about it the right way. And then we want to go ahead and check them out when they actually are soliciting in town. And like I say, it's not, for us, it's not about the permit fees or anything like that. The permit fees don't even come close to covering the cost that it takes to investigate them. The permit fees are there so that there is some reimbursement. We have to pay for, obviously, fingerprints and things from the state. But we do want to check these people out because we want to know who's in town. So if anybody's suspicious, anybody at all, please feel free to give us a call.
I can't stress this enough, I agree with you, Chief. We get frustrated here, we're here to help you, but if you call me and tell me 2 days ago somebody was at your door, okay, there isn't a lot we can do about that. The odds of me catching that person or the chief being able to send somebody out to catch that person at that point is no.
Pretty close to zero. And if they're substandard or they're not able to solicit in town or they have a license, we want to get them. We like to discourage that kind of thing. So, like I say, if anybody comes to your house, you have any questions at all, you don't have to confront them. We confront them. That's what you pay us for. Give us a call. And when I say give us a call, I don't mean the village hall or anything. Call the police department. You can call a non-emergency number or you can just dial 911. We're not so busy that we can't handle a 911 call for something like that. Call 911, then we know where you're located, and we can send an officer out and check them out anyway. So that's about all I have learned. I've been on vacation, and I think things have been.
Yes, we welcome you back, Chief.
Thank you. We just say Colorado needs to invest in some guardrails.
How many miles per sunbird?
2,900 miles in 6 days.
Wow.
Yeah, it's almost an iron button.
Okay, we will move on to our treasurer, Kelly Hensley.
All right, thank you. The first week of July, the auditors were here Monday through Thursday. We did a lot of prep work ahead of time, a lot of emailing back and forth, scanning documents and that. So while they were here, my time wasn't as stressed of working with them. We should be getting some feedback by next week about the status of where they're at. They're done in-house, but there's probably just a couple little things they're tweaking and that, writing the reports and recommendations and final financial figures and that. And Roseanne and I have been working on utility billing. We got the water billing bills out last week and we're handling it well. Kathy's doing a great job taking over my payroll for me right now in the meantime. Thank you very much. Roseanne's been a trooper assisting daily activities with the utility system also. It's going to be a little bit our office for the three of us ladies. We have Allison to help us out a little bit before she goes back to college, and we greatly appreciate that. And the mayor's answering phones and answering the windows too. So we're a big team here, a big family helping each other out. So that's all I have right now.
Okay, thank you. Village Clerk, Kathy Messler.
You stole some of my thunder. I just wanted to say, since our utility clerk has resigned, we've all pitched in. Kelly and Roseanne are doing the water billing, and I've taken over payroll, which is a good thing, because I'm a backup. So, it's been fun. Been very busy with a few inquiries about new businesses in town. And then, Greg, I wanted to let you know I sent out 3 bid packets, FedExed, for the Cranberry Lake bid notice. Now, he had 1 go out Monday and 2 went out today. And that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. We'll move on to my report, Mayor's report. On July 8th, I met with the Lake County Department of Transportation and Lake County Public Works. Also present at the meeting was our attorney Jim Rock, our engineer Greg Bruin, and our village planner Al Maiden. With the widening of Washington, there is a need for them to move the Lake County Sanitary Lift Station that services no part of Hainesville. It actually services the Highland Lake residents, but it needs to come to our side of the street. Now, in Hainesville, there is a parcel of property that is owned by Lake County, and that is where their right path comes up in horseshoes off of Washington. So the proposed site is to put it down there, obviously close to Washington Street. So we had a meeting to go over their preliminary plans. We let them know that this would be a special use within Hainesville, so there would need to be a public hearing with the plans presented. We discussed design and concerns, and obviously expressed a desire for landscaping. The county assured us that they do landscape their sanitary lift station sites, and I'm happy to report they contract out the landscaping work even for ongoing maintenance, because I did let them know that we would have also liked to see that property in its entirety maintained somewhat better. But overall, it was a good meeting, and so we will be meeting again. They were going to explore various options, and they will come back and meet with us again, and depending on how that all goes, probably a public hearing would be scheduled sometime in the future. I also want to say, as I announced at our last board meeting, Karen Norval, our utility clerk, resigned. She finished her 2 weeks' notice, and I had met with the staff, and we talked about how we would get through the billing cycle the next few months, so we could analyze and look at what would be the best way to proceed, and even explore the possibility of outsourcing billing. And the staff has done an outstanding job. Hats off to Kelly, Kathy, Roseanne, and Allison. You've been a tremendous help. You're very professional and very mature on the phone. So thank you so much for your assistance. The bills went out on time, and I have to tell you, for them, the first billing cycle after using the utility clerk, of course, Murphy's Law, the state of Illinois e-pay system decides to crash and was not working for several days right around our due date for the utility bill. So that made life all the more exciting, and the phones ringing, what's going on, and we had to give them a little grace period and take payments over the phone. So everybody really stepped up, so thank you. Kelly very recently put together some preliminary figures on what it costs us to do billing in-house, so we'll be going over those and analyzing this and have more to report in the future. Exciting event that I love is July 15th, 16th, and 17th. Last week, Grays Lake Park District brought over 4 different design layouts for the renovation of Ambler Park, which is located on Deerview Drive in Deer Point Trails. And they were on display here so residents could come in, view them, vote, and place their comments. And so we did a CTY call. We had a decent turnout, and the director, Jeff Mahalia, picked up the ballot box. He went back to his board. The Park District Board will make the final recommendation on how they will proceed, and they will go out to bid. The bid will be awarded in August, and the actual construction will take place sometime in the fall. Only other thing that's been going on, yesterday I attended another Route 53, Route 120 Land Use Committee meeting. I was happy that our county chair, Aaron Lawler, pulled a roundtable discussion together immediately following that meeting to just meet with some of us officials without all the consultants, so we could talk about how to proceed. And really, I think we need to focus on the financing options to get this started, and that we're worrying about land use too much too soon. We have the route, we know where the road's going to be built, so that can be dealt with later once the financing options are worked out. Okay, so with that, let's move on to reports of the standing committees. Kelly, are you reporting anything for finance, or are we going to wait? Okay. Public Works, Trustee Walkington.
Just a little bit, we had some preventative maintenance done on the roof at the Public Works building last week, and there will be another meeting on that to take care of some more stuff there.
Okay.
That's all I have.
Public Safety, Trustee Crease.
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, tonight we didn't have a meeting because we didn't have a quorum. Our other official was not here. But the next thing I wanted to talk about is the regulating of the motor-driven scooter ordinance that's coming up, and we're going to have some discussion on that. I believe that it's something I've seen a lot happening lately in other villages, and I worked about that another village, and it was pretty bad up there also. So glad to see that coming to tuition. And that's about it.
Okay, thank you, Ollie. Wetlands, Open Spaces, and Great Age Club, Trustee Duberstein.
Well, we haven't met, the wetland committee hasn't met until next month, so there's nothing to report on that. But the Great Age Club has been busy. We had our summer picnic at numerous state forest reserves, and everyone had a good time. And most recently, last Friday, a group of us went for dinner at Bill's North, and then to Young Frankenstein summer musical at CLC. So a good time was had by all, I think. Another announcement, I'm the representative to BEST from the village. BEST is bringing everyone's strengths together. It's a network of organizations for the betterment of the Round Lake area. And they have just raised the amount that they will give for grants for individuals who have projects or organizations for things that would be of value to the community or to the youth of the community. And they raised it from $500 to $1,000 per grant. And anyone who's interested, they can go to the BEST website. It's rlabest.net. It's a very simple application, and hopefully there will be people whose organizations can benefit. And that's about all I have for now.
Okay, thank you. Broadcast Media Manager, Trustee Baranowski.
All I have is that we, last meeting was uploaded the same night we had it, so we had much more opportunity for views, and actually we had 20 views in the last board meeting, which is high, really high for the summer too. So, and just, that's all we have.
Okay. I think part of that was the police contract. We were in the paper too. They put Jerry's picture in there, so maybe that was the excitement. I don't know. Transportation, Trustee Barrett.
Oh boy, everybody's gonna make your day today. The Canadian National Railroad just announced that on August 3rd, they're going to close the crossing at 128.83. And I can see the chief smiling there. So if you think we're gonna have cut-through traffic Now, just wait until they close that crossing for 10 days. And Washington is just going to be a nightmare because that's opening up. The good news is that they've actually completed the first cut through the underpass on the Rollins Road underpass, which is kind of neat. I was overlooking at it today. And that project is actually moving a little bit ahead of schedule, but this rail crossing to redo the grade crossing for the Canadian National at 120 and 83 is going to be a logistics nightmare for the communities, both Grace Lake and Hainesville. So that's about all I have to report. This could be a lot of fun, trust me.
Helicopters. Starting August
August
3rd.
3rd, it's
Yeah.
going to be closed for 10 days.
So it'll open for the first day of school, August 13th, the high school goes back.
Yeah,
If they're on time. But I think they will be.
They're usually pretty good about that, so.
Yeah. Okay, special events. I recently had a meeting with Colonel Steve Fratt, and he brought two other gentlemen from the Union Civil War Group, and we put together a real nuts and bolts list of what they're going to provide, the kind of things that we need to make sure that we have on hand or have access to. So it's really all coming together, and I'm happy to report as far as our donations so far, they're continuing to come in. We're right at $5,600 right now, so we still are waiting for a few others, so hopefully that number will continue to go up. Let's move on to business. First item up is a resolution to accept planning staff assistance services delivered by the Chicago Metropolitan Agency for Planning, most commonly referred to as CMAP, another famous acronym. And CMAP touches on everything that we want help on in Lake County, and particularly Central Lake County. Transportation, whether it's roads, Route 53, whether it's mass transit, buses and additional train service, planning for housing and future business and industrial. So that is the purpose of this resolution. We don't lose control by any means. Our planner, Al Maiden, actually attended the meeting where this was presented. He explained to me that we will have the final word and say so, and what they provide to us, and we can reject it, change it, or whatever. So it is recommended that we adopt a resolution to show that we want to be part of the effort and move forward on all the levels of the Chicago Metropolitan Planning. Do I have a motion for approval?
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Trustees Jaranowski.
Aye.
Priest.
Aye.
Duberstein. Garrett.
Aye.
And Walkington.
Aye.
Motion carried. Resolution R 14-7-79.
Okay, the next item up is the contract for water treatment plant and wastewater lift station operations for the amount of $33,480 annually with Robertson Engineering for a term of 3 years. You may recall right at the end of last year, moving into 2014, our water operation team departed from Manhart Consulting and joined Robinson. There was a transfer of that agreement, and they upheld that contract. It expired, and this is the renewal contract. Do we have a motion for approval?
So moved. Second.
I have a question.
Okay.
Do we want to put in the motion, Jim, that it's the contract prices for the first year only and will increase?
We should just at least have that in the record, that, and just for everybody's knowledge, in case it wasn't clear.
Oh, yeah, we have
The dollar amount that's on the agenda is the first year amount, Second and third year are subject to an increase based on increase in the CPI for those 2 years.
So I'll put that in for the record.
Could we have discussion?
Yes, yeah.
One question. Jeff, what I've noticed is that under the water systems, okay, and they don't have anything in there that, in regards to preventive maintenance. They just have maintenance and they just have operations. Now, we were up last year with water tower and everything else. Who does our checking of our safeties, you know, whether the water level is low and all that other stuff? Is that through them? Is that going to be through Robinson?
Yeah.
And I noticed that they don't have anything there that clarifies that they're going to do any of these checks at all, as far as preventive maintenance.
So you want the language more specific?
More specific.
Okay,
That's
all right.
That's basically what I'm looking at.
Okay. So what would be a recommended language?
I mean, Chris,
Well-
they put in the safeties, they got the floats working and everything else.
Right.
On that storage tank?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, it's, you know, maintenance and then repair.
Right, and it's, all it does, it doesn't have the
Well, it shows under, on the second page, while it shows under wastewater.
wastewater, it does, but it doesn't show under water.
Under the water section?
Actually,
Water
under
section.
under maintenance, and if you're under maintenance, it says REL will provide the labor for preventive maintenance items.
Oh,
Yeah, I thought it was in here somewhere. But basically what they're gonna do is, as part of the preventative maintenance, they're gonna let me know this is what has to happen as far as preventative maintenance, so if there's a part or a pump or something, I gotta pay for the part, but they supply the labor.
Right.
So there's, and it looks like, excuse me.
See, but it's not very specific. It says that will be provided for the cost of repairs. It doesn't say that they're providing the labor and we're providing the parts.
Yeah, because they'll provide the labor for preventive maintenance. Suppliers are responsible for preventive maintenance costs. So in other words, they'll do the work, but any other costs are responsible.
Okay, so in other words, yeah. So in other words, what we define as that check being preventive maintenance, we would pay them, get the cost to it. What I'm saying, are we doing this checks now?
They should be doing
They should be
checks
doing
now,
checks.
yes.
Is that?
And that should be listed.
And we have the log book now, right?
Yeah.
I mean, everything's in the log now.
Yeah, when they go in, daily, you know, there's certain things that they look at, and that's listed in the log, you know, that they sign off on, which I could construe as that's regular maintenance, and it's also preventative. If they see something that's not functioning properly, they're gonna let me know, so that we can act, you know, obviously accordingly.
So have we decided, do we need additional language, or is this satisfactory? Is this,
I guess words, maybe I'll talk to Jeff afterward about the schedule of maintenance.
okay.
Preventive
Or,
maintenance.
yeah, or another recommendation I have.
Well, you didn't get to vote on this.
Yes, we're still in this, yeah, we have a motion and a second, so.
Jim, you're saying that that they will be doing preventive maintenance as long as we tell them? Is that what you're saying?
Well,
We'll pay
first
for it.
of all, this is the first time this has come up, so.
Yeah.
So what I'd suggest is if you have a specific item that's not listed here and that you think needs to be specified, we should do that. So between you, and is there something specific that we don't have here?
And I'm going to add another thought. I think that it is addressed here in a general sense. If you're looking for specifics, is that something that you should be getting in a report? Whether it's the monthly report or quarterly. I don't know if it's something that we should technically require monthly. I'll let you guys decide that at the committee level. But maybe it's just a, you know, a report on what preventative maintenance has been done.
Okay, because like it was brought out before, they do it listed under wastewater, but they don't list preventive maintenance under water system. So that's something we really should have also put on, under wastewater, it says UZ right there on the second page. The fourth one down, it says preventive maintenance program for the wastewater. That's what the contractors and operations and maintenance will consist of. And when you look at underwater systems, the maintenance will consist of, it does not have anything coming up under the preventive maintenance program.
Right.
We usually do that in the committee, though, talk to Terry about what preventative maintenance needs to be.
But I'm just saying, it's not with the.
I think it's a good point. I don't see any problem with just adding that to that list. There's a list.
So where are we at?
Under water system contract operations and maintenance will consist of, that's letter A on page 1.
We're adding a bullet.
You could add a bullet that simply says preventive maintenance. Unless there's something more specific that you have in mind.
No,
A preventive maintenance program.
Program, right, and then that could be brought out in committee what we would be looking at.
Or how they would report it, yeah.
Or
Yeah.
report it.
And, you know, one other thing that I did notice as well here, after I looked at Diane and Jim at the other bullet, operator filling out the logbooks, that didn't make it on this copy either.
It's on the top of page 2.
Yeah, I thought I saw it.
Operator shall fill out logbooks located, there's a typo that it says and well house, but it should be located at well house 1 and well house 3 each time services are performed at those locations.
So the bullet continues on the next.
Right in front of my face, I'm sorry.
That's okay. So here, then I recommend we make 2 changes to the agreement to send back to them. One is to add the words preventive maintenance program as a bullet under item A on page 1. And 2, at the top of page 2, change the word and to at before well house 1.
Okay.
And I think it's ready. Well, I think it addresses those questions.
So do we need to do motions on the vote?
Yeah, I think we should
And amended to
adopt it as amended.
Okay.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? Roll call.
Trustees Darrenowski.
Aye.
Kreis.
Aye.
Duberstein.
Aye.
Barrett.
Aye.
And Washington.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Okay, that was good. Good job. All right, item 3 has been a hot topic in our town recently and in other towns. Every few years, new toys and different types of amusement equipment comes out, and they all look really fun until they start speeding down streets, especially depending on their age and their unsupervised, scary things start to happen. And so what has brought this up is seeing various type of electric scooters that have the capability of going at a pretty fast clip, going down our streets, and some of them being major thoroughfares and having a lot of cut-through traffic this summer. It's been rather exciting. So that is what brought this up, and the Public Safety Committee talked about it, talked to the chief about it. The chief brought us an ordinance. We talked with their attorney about it. So I think we want to have a motion to adopt this with some discussion. So do we have a motion to throw this ordinance on the table?
So, second.
Discussion?
So I would like, under the exemption, to add another one to include toddler or children under the age of 6 for the little, like Hot Wheels, like the little trucks so that parents can take those on
Barbie
sidewalks.
cars type thing.
Yeah, so that the parents can, like a little kid could go walking with his parents and maybe they're walking the dog but it would have to be under parental supervision.
And on the sidewalk.
And on the sidewalk.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
And with the concerns, I did briefly talk with the chief before we opened the meeting. I talked with the attorney. So I think we came up with some good proposed language. Jim, you want to read that?
Sure. And keep in mind, the age is subject to your discussion and approval, discretion.
I like that 8 number.
Yeah, We drafted this additional language as exception number 4 under exemptions. Motorized amusement vehicles designed for children ages 8 and under, when ridden on the sidewalk by children ages 8 and under who are accompanied by a parent or guardian.
Does that,
Yeah, that's great.
is that great? Does anybody have any other thoughts or concerns?
Could that be misconstrued as riding a scooter?
What kind of scooter are you talking about?
One of those electric scooters that you have.
Well, but if they're having to have a parental parent supervising them,
We define
the chief sees some.
motor-driven scooter is defined earlier in the.
Yeah.
It's defined, which is different from what we're saying.
Right, it's an electric, magnetic, or gas-driven wheeled scooter, motor-driven vehicle, ATV, mini bike, go-kart, skateboard, or essentially similar vehicle. Could someone argue that?